Top 10. Top 10 Poorest Countries. Number 10. Angola. Angola, officially called as the Republic of Angola, which is the 10th poorest country in the world. The majority of people have low standard of living and life expectancy is worst among the world. This country faces the poverty of 70% even though it has abundance of natural resources. The standard of living remains low for most of the population and the infant mortality rate is also worst. This country has 3 divisions of military like Army, National Air Force and Navy with a total manpower of 110,000. Number 9. Suriname. This country is having the dual production structure, involved in agricultural products and raw materials production in one hand and producing high-value products from the mining industry on the other. The economy is based on the aluminum production which supports GDP growth. The country is facing pollution of inland waterways by small-scale mining activities. It is one of the poorest countries as the poverty ratio is up to 70%. Number 8. Guatemala. Guatemala is a country in Central America with an area of 108,890 kilometers (2) and has a population of 15,806,675. The main key factor to the country as low literacy rate is lack of training for rural teachers. This poorest country is having 75% of the people below poverty line. About 850,000 people in this country could fall into poverty and more than 700,000 people reach extreme poverty according to the estimation from United Nations Development Program. Number 7. Liberia. Liberia is a country in West Africa which is home of about 4 million people and having English as their official language. Liberia is now facing the dangerous health issue known as the Ebola virus, due to which many of its citizens are dying and the government is taking steps to protect their people from this disease. Until 1990, the economy was based on the export of iron and rubber and the economic infrastructure of the country was largely destroyed by civil war. More than 60% of its population is educated as the primary and secondary education is free and compulsory from ages of 6 to 16. The poverty ratio is 80% in the 7th poorest country of the world. Number 6. Haiti. The Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world as it has a poverty of 80% and low per capita income. The major occupation of people in this country is agriculture and it receives annually humanitarian cooperation from the developed countries. In the year 2010, around 3 million people were affected by the earthquake which caused much damage to the country. This was the first independent nation of Latin America, but the majority of population in this country has low standard of living currently when compared to the other Caribbean countries. Number 5. Moldova. Moldova is the 5th poorest country in the world which is having a population of 4 million people. It has the long history of winemaking for which they use their own recipe and exporting those wine worldwide. People of this country lives with the poverty rate of 80% which makes the country as poorest. 1. The major occupation is agriculture as most of the people depend on its income. Even though the GDP of this country has increased when compared to the last few years, it remains as poorest country in Europe. Number 4. Chad. The Chad is a semi-desert country which has suffered from internal conflicts and inadequate infrastructure. The health and social conditions are not better, thus the country faces the poverty of 80%. The revenue of this country is mainly depending on oil exports, production of gold and uranium. People make use of their revenue to purchase weapons and it is the 4th poorest country in the world based on poverty. Number 3. Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe country is located in southern Africa, which has tourism as an important industry. This country had a positive economic growth during 1980s, but after 2000 the economy started decline in the highest percentage. The main reason for the decline of economy was mismanagement and corruption by the government, and also the controversial redistribution of land by more than 4,000 white farmers. During 2008, Zimbabwe faced the inflation up to 100%, which made their people to borrow basic things from neighbor country. It is the third poorest country in the world because of the poverty ratio of 80%. Number 2. Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip has an estimated population of 1,816,379 with an area of around 360 kilometers (2). The average life expectancy in the Gaza Strip is 72, according to the United Nations Development Program. The economy is suffered badly by the unemployment and the poverty population of 81%, which made the country the second poorest country in the world. The major occupation for people in this country is agriculture, construction and manufacturing. As we all know, there is ongoing war in Gaza, which leads to economic decline of the country. Number 1. Zambia. Zambia is one of the leading producers of copper in the world, and its economy mainly depends on the foreign investment in copper. Even though the country is equipped with industries like mineral processing, cement production and other agricultural-related industries, it has the highest poverty ratio of 86%. It is the poorest country in the world, in which 7 out of 10 people lives on less than $2 a day, and the average life expectancy in Zambia was 51 years. Top 10 Poorest Countries. This is the list of top 10 poorest countries based on the rate of poverty. Thanks for watching video. Please let us know your feedback about this article in the comments section. Subscribe to our channel. https www.youtube.com channel UCRQI4DAWPMQCXJT1RXNZQQ. Subscribe now. Increase your knowledge.